How do? My name's Dave K and you are watching the Yorkshire Bike Mechanics YouTube channel. I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be talking about nipples. Yes, nipples. Bike nipples. Come on, guys and gals. We've got to keep it clean. Yes, we have. So, in particular, I want to talk about Santa Cruz, okay? Because there is a nipple on the lower link of a Santa Cruz bike that's an important part of a service, and it's often missed simply because it's not seen. You can't see it unless you remove certain components of your bike off, and then you can actually get to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pump some grease in this lower link nipple on this Santa Cruz high tower today. So I'm going to show you how to find it, where it is, and what you need to be able to do it. It's a simple process, but it's an important one, okay? So let's crack on. So here we have a Santa Cruz high tower. Okay, it's a CC version. It's a lovely bike, to be honest. As you can see, it's red. It's got an 11-speed drivetrain on it. We've just replaced this. We've put a new ring on the front and a new cassette on the back. It's 1146 Shimano. And it's in for a general service. So what I thought we'd do is, like I said before, let's look at this bottom linkage in here. Because as part of a service, what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to grease this section here. It's quite an important part of a service. But under here, there's a grease nipple that you can't see until we actually take the shock off the bike and the back wheel as well. So what we'll do is we'll whip that back wheel out and we'll just lift this section up, and that'll actually reveal this grease nipple underneath, and I'll show you how we're going to get some grease into there as well. So let's take this back wheel out. Now that we've got this wheel out of the way, we can actually see this lower linkage here. It connects the rear swinging arm to the main front triangle of the bike. We're connecting two halves together at the bottom end. It's the lower link, and up here is the upper link, okay? So what we need to do is we need to remove this shock as well, so we can actually lift this section up. So we'll just undo that and we'll take it off. So I'm just using a 6mm Allen key just to undo this top bolt on this shock, and take that out and put that to one side. And I'll do exactly the same with the bottom one. 6mm again. Okay, we'll just keep hold of the other side of that bolt so we don't lose it, and then we can actually remove this shock, carefully wiggling it down on the back. That's it, and then we can just gently pull it out and we'll put that to one side. Okay, so I'll move the camera back. So now that we've got the shock off, we can lift this rear triangle up as far as it'll actually go, and that'll expose under this lower link a little nipple here, a little grease nipple. I hope you can see that. I'll just, there it is. Let me get a cloth and just give it a clean. So there's some grease around the nipple there, which is a good sign. Let's see if I can get a light in there. There we are. Can you see that now? If I get a light in there, is that better? Can you see it? It's just there. So what we need to do is, you can actually see that just at the base of that nipple, there's like a raised section. That's a hollow tube, and we've got 4 bearings in this lower linkage. We've got 2 at the top here, and we've got 2 at the bottom. And what happens is when you force grease through there, it goes through that tube and it reaches the bottom set of the bearings, and it also reaches the top set of the bearings. And the idea is when we grease this, is to put enough grease in there. We keep pumping grease in until it starts to flow out of the side of this pivot. So what we need to do is we need this grease gun, okay? Now, when you buy a brand new Santa Cruz, more often than not, within the kit that you buy comes a grease gun, just like this one. It comes with one tube of Santa Cruz grease, bearing grease, and once that's gone, you can't really buy another tube of grease without buying the gun as well. So what you need to do is, this is a standard generic type of fitting on here, and you can actually get a grease cartridge. We use Finish Line premium grease for stuff like this, and you can buy this stuff off the shelf. And once the Santa Cruz stuff's gone, you can just connect this up here, and it does exactly the same job. It's just as good as the Santa Cruz grease, or you can use a different kind of grease if you want, as long as it's a premium stuff. So what we need to do is we need to connect this nipple, this grease gun up to the nipple. Just clip it on the end. And we just keep on pumping until we start to see a little tiny flow of grease just round the outside of that linkage. Now if I bring my camera around the other side, just take this gun off, can you see just there in the middle, just in there, you can see that white grease. Now what that's done basically is it's flowed down the tube, the grease way, and it's found its way outside the end of the lower linkage, which is exactly how we want it. That's the objective achieved, if you like. We know that the linkage is full of grease because it's come out of the side, so that's what we want to achieve. So that's done basically. So all we need to do is just to clean off the excessive grease with a cloth around the grease nipple. You can leave a little bit on, it's not going to do it any harm, it's probably going to do it some good, to be honest. Okay, so we just tidy that up there, and that's it. That's all you need to do. And you would do that on every service on a Santa Cruz bike. Obviously we need to check for bearing movement. Okay, if there's no bearing movement and the linkage when you move it up and down feels nice and smooth, then that is the main procedure on that bottom link, is to just grease, get as much grease as you can in there. That actually feels nice, to be honest, when you move that up and down. It's not notchy, it's nice and smooth. And I know that there's plenty of grease in there now because I can see it's come out outside. So job done. Very quick video. So now that we've greased that port, all we need to do is put us back wheel back in, put a shock back on, tighten it up to right torque, job's done. So if you've not got a grease gun, or you've bought a Santa Cruz second hand and you've not got the gun with it, then these are fairly easy to buy. So I hope you found that useful. But just before I go, I want to do a little bit of a giveaway to celebrate us 1,000 subscriber. We're just kind of bordering on that now, and it'd be nice to kind of give something away, really, you know, just a little bit of something, just as a little bit of a thank you, really. So I'll sort that out over the next few days, and we'll put a video up, and we'll see if we can give something nice away to one of you guys, so or gals. So thanks very much. I shall see you later. Keep safe, and till next time, toodle pip.